What's up, guys? It's Sage back again with another video on how to scale and how you can copy the $10 million a year strategy that's being used on TikTok Shop right now for a lot of the brands that are on Amazon and Shopify. And so I'm going to break down basically the entire strategy that we use. And I put it together. So this is just from knowledge and experience of the social media e-com game, and it's what's allowed me to grow multiple audiences on Instagram, Meta, TikTok. It's not just TikTok, but it's the entire strategy behind it as well. And so this is going to be very beneficial if you're an Amazon seller trying to go outside of Amazon and do TikTok Shop, if you're a Shopify seller that's looking to scale on TikTok Shop with TikTok ads. Specifically today, we're going to be talking about pre-launch. Now, I made a video about this earlier about how to register for your TikTok shop, but today we're really going to be discussing content, and then we're going to be going over influencer strategy. So let's just get right into it. A lot of the brands that we see online that are scaling quickly have tons of content. And so the pillars here are you want 3 to 5 content hooks that your offer thrives on, meaning if you're selling a specific skincare product or a speaker or some type of shirt or clothing, that you have some type of benefit, pain point, or transformation that you can show through a video format or a content format. Often that comes from building out your hooks. So the best way to do that is by going to a GPT or Claude and actually using an AI to help prompt your entire organic content flow. And so I've actually broken down this exact flow in another video, and I will be breaking it down in the future. But it's very, very simple. Oftentimes, it only takes about 30 seconds once you have your copy. You can do a few hooks yourself and then have GPT do it for you. The other thing that you want is 10 plus raw videos of your product. So because you need so much video driven content on social media in general for you to generate more sales, it's important that you have some type of product demos, reviews. Oftentimes Amazon sellers are bringing user generated content, and then we can go ahead and edit those. Editors on TikTok are short form. So oftentimes you're going to realize that these aren't as professional as you would see on other brand Instagrams. So right now I'm looking at TikTok, and you can see The Ordinary, a skincare brand making 8 figures a year on social media alone, has so many different types of content. And this is just their brand page. It's not cohesive. There's not like a specific color coding or style, but they utilize various types of UGC and different types of angles and content editing styles. This is the content that's more similar to their brand content, which still gets good engagement, but as you can tell, is very different than some of the other content that you see from user generated content. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, going back to why we need to do this before pre-launch. Before you run any ads, before you're spending money to generate more money with your brand, I would invest all of your income and focus into organic content and raw video footage, sending that or editing it yourself using top competitors. If I wanted to find the top competitors right now in my space, I would go right to Fastmoss, and I would go ahead and look up the best products in the specific niche or category that I'm currently selling in using this search bar here, and I would go through all of the details, the top US sellers, and click on their brand, just like The Ordinary if I was selling skincare products. And I would go ahead and take their whole strategy, the organic strategy, their influencer strategy, and then I would start building out content just like this based off of the top competitors making the most sales. Of course, you can't do as much volume, but it's always important to go with organic first. And so before we leave this slide, I would like to say it only takes 3 to 6 months for you to build an organic platform and base. But don't think of this type of e-commerce migrating out from Amazon to be a fast-paced migration. You don't all of a sudden go on social media with 1,000 followers or less and start generating sales. That's just not how it's done. So, a little bit of background. I've been doing this for 10 years in the times where Vine and Instagram were big. And there's so many brands that came through our feed when we were doing promotions, or when I was just doing promotions for other brands before Meta Ads was even a big ad platform. And the biggest thing that people miss out on is the idea of doing their own content first and getting some good brand reps before they start the ads. So it's not just a plug and play ad situation. You invest in content and use that content, the best performing, to then drive ad sales. So yeah, use content to drive sales. The second thing that you're going to want to do is the influencer and creator strategy. That's so important. This can literally be you failing, like falling in the dumpster straight away when you're trying to build up sales versus you climbing Mount Everest and seeing the most beautiful sight in the world. That analogy describes how to go about influencer marketing. There's an affiliate platform inside of TikTok that I would stay away from. Right now, I'm looking at the TikTok editor and shop right now, and I'm using a dummy account right now. I'm gonna go to the affiliate center, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I mean. This affiliate center in TikTok shop, if you have a TikTok shop, do not use it. Do not use it in the first 3 to 6 months, because you will likely have a low conversion rate and you'll overspend on samples and you will be in the red, because a lot of these creators don't know how to make solid content. There is a way that you can find great creators on Fastmoz, but you'd have to have a lot of followers and a lot of traffic and sales within the 7 to 8 figure range per year to even afford these top creators. What I would do is hire out an agency or a specialist like myself or the team and have that done for you. Of course, you can try it on the woods by yourself, and the strategy is this. Your creator outreach list should start micro. So there's this difference between nano influencer, micro influencer, mega influencer, macro influencer, macro and mega after. But micro influencers are the best. 70 to 100K followers on Instagram or TikTok. It doesn't matter the difference, because short form content is short form content. Whether it's posted on Instagram or TikTok, the goal here is to get the first promotion on any social media platform, and then to pull that video and bring it to your feed, or to have an editor or yourself re-edit that piece of content. So you do at least 25 micro UGC creators in a pre-vetted type of program, and from there you're going to repurpose it and put it on your TikTok feed. That is where you end up adding it to your TikTok shop. So in the TikTok shop, if we're looking at the products, and again, this is a dummy account, not in use, you're going to the seller center. Under add a new product, you've got your main images here optimized. There will be a section here where it says video. You add the video here of the UGC that's best performing organically, and you swap that out as you continue to run ads down the road. But until then, you add the top performing video, and you put it here in this slot. Make sure all the other information is optimized as well in your listing. So once you have that going on, then you can start building out your affiliate commission set. Of course, the profit margins vary, right? Depending on what product you're selling. Generally, you want to have at least a 40% margin when you're making sales on TikTok Shop, and 60% would often go to like cost of goods plus shipping plus whatever you're spending on ads, which is inclusive of your creator outreach list. This strategy here with 25 micro creators or micro influencers and an outreach system where you can do diversified recruitment messaging on templates, so DMs on Instagram, TikTok, emails, and lists through email using a sheet. This strategy alone will generate you anywhere from 50 sales a day to 70 sales a day while you're doing the campaigns, while you're doing your first 25 micro campaigns. Sometimes this doesn't work. Sometimes you flop. Sometimes you don't. It doesn't always come out. Or you're not looking for the result that's $1 million in sales. That's what I'm trying to say. What you're trying to see is a proof of concept. So if you're below 50 and you're at 30 or 20, that's still a good range for you to scale up. But the idea here is to get enough content so that you can pay ads, and the ads then will take you to that 7-figure a year or 100K per month revenue range. And so those are the two main things if you're already registered that you need to make sure that you do: 25 influencers, purely vetted affiliates, commission set, and the fee for the influencers as well. You'll probably spend anywhere from 100 to 150 on each creator. If they're above 100,000 or at 100,000 and their engagement is good, I would go to Social Blade to check that. But of course, you might be spending anywhere from 250 to 300 per creator. Now, there's a way to do the video editing, the organic content, the influencer marketing in a more reasonable setting. And that's by hiring our agency to do it or myself. And I would have no problem looking at that for you. Now, this is a five step, but right now I have a 4-step built out and a little module here with how to run your organic after you scale to 10x return on ad spend. But right now, that was a pre-launch, pre-ads optimization checklist for you. Once you're done with that, we'll go over everything else. I might already have that video up by then. But until then, make sure that your feed is full of content that people can engage with, that's not so uniform. Don't get caught up on the branding. A lot of our brands do well because the content is weird, different, and we try a lot of things. You'll find that 6, 7, 8-figure stores start to blur the line between on-brand and off-brand and try things new more than just keep to a corner. What happens when you don't try things that are new is you end up lacking sales and your brand ends up going nowhere. So whether you're starting on TikTok, whether you're already on TikTok trying to make sales, just use that little checklist that I gave you and have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.